Hey, you are now listening or watching the Halos in the Infield podcast, sponsored in part by Noble L Works over on 1621 South Sinclair, where you can get discounts by just mentioning HITI, Halos in the Infield, drink discounts on us, baby. And also by 714 Tickets. The price you see is the price you get, and you also get 10% additionally off in the Apply Now code once you order your tickets just by mentioning HITI, Halos in the Infield. Now enjoy the show.
Live every night on the Halos in the Infield Baseball Network.
Welcome to the Halos in the Infield post-game podcast with Todd Fox, sponsored by Noble Ale Works Brewery, as well as 714 Tickets. This is your nightly destination for all things Los Angeles Angels. Come join Todd as he recaps every thrilling and disappointing moment from tonight's game, win or lose. Get ready for insightful analysis, fan reactions, and Todd's engaging commentary. Plus, fans can call in live to the Halo Hotline to have their voices and opinions heard as well.
It's the Halo Hotline.
Stay tuned in for your chance to win free Halos merchandise with our weekly trivia.
It's all about the game.
It's time to dive into the heart of Angels baseball with Todd Fox on the Halos in the Infield postgame podcast.
There's a drive from Mike Trout. See you later. That is long gone.
It's the Todd Fox postgame podcast with your host, Todd Fox.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Halos in the Infield postgame show, the only place where you can get the realest takes, you can talk your crap, you can honk your honk as much as you want, and after a night like this, how can you honk your honk? The Angels get blasted tonight 11-0, and for most of you, you're going to say, hey, well, you know what, this is something that we should have been used to as fans, because this is a kind of effort that we predicted for an entire season. Not necessarily. I think some of us were fooled in the beginning. Some of us were pleasantly surprised, and some of us were just waiting for the thing to fall apart. And it did early on. It's shown some signs of life, and it's been on life support. But the Angels, whenever you put any kind of faith in this team, you start saying, well, maybe they've turned the corner. Maybe this is a better team than I thought. They tend to go the other way. And the Angels went the other way big time tonight, getting blasted. And what do you expect too? What do you expect from bringing up a double-A guy who it's not like he's shining down there? It's not like he's like if this Angels organization had a top 10 of really good prospects and you're like, oh, this guy's the number 6 good pitcher in the organization and this guy is going to make his major league debut. It's like they don't even want to trust the AAA anymore. That's part of analytics as well. They don't want to mention, hey, you know what, he should get some he should pitch in tough situations in AAA where it's more hitters, the advantage to the hitters. If you're dominating in AAA as a pitcher, you're pretty damn good. But we tend to put more onus on the AA guys because those are harder ballparks. They're further, they're deeper. And, you can rack up your numbers there. And this guy wasn't tearing it up. So it's not like he's down there. And again, he's got like a 2 or sub 2 ERA, and he's just killing it. And there's like no way that this organization can deny him a shot to get a spot start when one opens, right? Well, it's like lately they've been like, well, this guy's hurt. This guy can't go. This guy can't go. We don't want to pitch this guy. So we're just having openers, we're having guys come up, and they were flirting the Kenny Rosenberg as a starter. We've seen that song and dance. I think Kenny Rosenberg, I should say, is no more than a 4A guy. So, the fact that he's up here just shows you how thin that we don't have our Chase Silseth. We're not believing in Detmers. There's other guys down there that we can't pull up, Bachman, stuff like that. So with him coming up tonight, you would have been pleasantly, look, we struck lightning with a bottle once with Davis Daniel, and he came out there the first start, pitched really good, phenomenal, one of the best rookie performances ever. In his second start, he was fairly decent, kept the team in the ball game. The only reason why the Angels lost that game is because they couldn't score. It wasn't, Davis Daniel. And then his third game, he just got ahead of everybody and couldn't find the strikeout pitch and then just got lit up. So that's going to happen. But, Kachanowicz 0-1. He only pitched 3 innings, 4 runs, 7 hits, and the 1 strikeout. And I thought, between Goobyisms and all the cheese and the Deo, every freaking at bat almost, or, like when it got a little quiet, you had to ring out the Deo. It's like, come on, there's thousands of things that you can use, but no, let's go with Deo. See, I always get sidetracked by that. But anyway, Gooby was like, hey, you could tell with Davis Daniel and with other pitchers that have been on fire, you could see how the arm release is really short and you don't have time to read the pitch off of the arm. And that was a really, really good point that he brought up, because if you watch you saw that he had that real slow release point. He's showing the ball. And that's what, if you've ever played league ball, if you've ever played any kind of baseball, it's one thing to imitate your stars or the guy that you grew up wanting to pitch like, or, you've seen a Hall of Famer or your favorite pitcher, and you want to emulate the way, because a lot of guys, like the way I would pitch is like Jared Weaver. I like the way the Weaver pitched. And he had the confidence to throw that when he came from the windup, that long arm release, because he could switch the movement of the ball and his grip as he's throwing it. And he had a wild angle to it to where you couldn't really pick it up. If your arm is stiff and you're coming out of the motion and you're showing the ball, the longer you show that ball, these hitters are so good, they're able to pick up on the spin or figure out what spin's going to come off the baseball to then figure out what pitch you're throwing. And so if you've got the ability to hide 4 pitches in the same, pitching rotation, then, as you throw the ball, like if you're able to mechanically look the same every pitch, that's a gold star next to your name. However, if you are showing and revealing too much of that to the batter will tee off on that. The batter will know what's coming. And for a team that does their scouting reports, which tonight, Seattle, kudos to you. You did the right thing and you did the scouting report and you figured out that, hey, this guy, not that he's on purpose tipping his pitches, because I don't think he's tipping his pitches. It's just the fact that they're able to read the ball. They have more time. You have a fraction of a second or a few extra seconds to pick up what kind of pitch is coming. And you look at the pitcher's fingers. You focus in on his fingers. And if you see what kind of grip he's got on that ball, well, then there you go. And that's what happened tonight. But it wasn't all his fault in the first inning. You had Guillerme over there making a crucial error, which opened the floodgates. And let's just face it, the game was won and lost in the first inning. 4 runs came across. The Angels had a couple opportunities with second and third, 1 out, couldn't get it through. Guillerme had a chance to, make up for his error and knock in a run or 2, couldn't do it. And the Angels went flat on their ass, 5 hits tonight while surrendering 15. Guillerme went 0 for 4 tonight. The Dong made an appearance with a walk. You had Hiera, whatever his name is, strikeout. Ohapi went 0 for 2. I mean, because again, when you're facing a guy that throws those type of sinkers and changeups, and they have that devastating movement like Luis Castillo, he's got good stuff. No doubt. 3 years ago, I wanted the Angels to trade for him. I was desperate for the Angels to trade for him. And they wouldn't pull the trigger. And you see that our division rival got him, and that's a bigger slap in the face. There was a time period 3 years ago when the Angels had an opportunity to not only pick up Luis Castillo, but to pick up John Gray. And both those pitchers were for the Cincinnati Reds. Both of them got traded. The Angels, believe it or not, were in discussions, but it is rumored, because I don't have 100% on this, but it was rumored at the time that a Luis Castillo trade was not finalized, but it was intriguing the Cincinnati Reds. And there was an opportunity to also, if they couldn't get Castillo, to get Gray. But a guy named, what is his name again? A piece of shit. That's what I always refer to him as. Oh, yeah, Artie Moreno. Artie Moreno said no. So there you have it. You touch too much, you put your hand in that cookie jar and you're sick, you infect everybody else, and that's what he's doing. And that's what he did. So we lose out on him. He goes to a division rival. Yes, he helped them make the playoffs 2 years ago. They got close last year. Is he tearing it up this year? Not necessarily, but I don't put all that on Luis Castillo. The Mariners have one of the most anemic offenses, which is, again, if you look at the Mariners as a whole, they mirror the Angels of what they could be 2 years ago, what they could have been 2 years ago, I should say. and the fact that they are relying on too many guys, and they're not bringing in the big bats. They got their one superstar, Julio Rodriguez, which is their Mike Trout. But other than that, who else do they have? They have like Ty France is their Taylor Ward, 232 hitter. You got Raleigh, who possibly is like a Shonawell, or you could say Rojas is. Crawford's, 212 hitter. You could say he's slightly better than Adele. So they mirror us a lot you look at their numbers. They don't have one hitter over 300. I mean, the Angels at least at one point had two when they would play Pilar, and when you have Renifo in the lineup, you had two guys batting 300. But the Mariners don't have one. And they do have some guys that are stars, but you got to add some hitters to that team. If the Mariners want to make the playoffs, you don't focus really on the pitching. I think they got the dogs to win via rotation and bullpen. I think you got to, if you're Dipoto, you have to go all out on some goddamn hitters and take a chance. But getting back to our Angels, we're nowhere close to that. We're probably going to scrape the bottom of the barrel after making a couple trades, disappointing the fans here in Anaheim, not getting the guys that we want, not getting the guys that the organization needs to fill in the holes for next year. And I'm not talking about addition. I'm talking about like additions as far as major league ready guys. I'm talking about prospects. I have a feeling the Angels will drop the ball on that as well. And we're going to trade your Matt Moores, your Stricklands, and we're going to hold on to Renifo. We're going to hold on to Anderson. I'm just getting that overwhelming feeling like we're going to go into this trade deadline very hopeful that this team will turn the page. And then you know what's going to happen? The moment it hits, I think, 3 p.m. West Coast time, which would be 6 o'clock East Coast, and they close all the trades, and there's maybe one or two that trickle in, and everyone's going to think it's the Angels, but it's not. You're going to have Roger Lodge on the drive home, propaganda prime minister, a.k.a. Pee-Pee. He's going to come out, and he's going to be like, well, guys, addition by subtraction doesn't apply to the Angels because we got a free agent coming back here by the name of Mike Nelson Trout. And then we also have Rendon, who's in the lineup. And you got to think about all the other players that we held on. We still have Tyler Anderson, and we still have Louis Renifo. This team is poised for a run in August and September. And we won't play that song, Wake Me Up, until September ends, until we're rightfully eliminated, and then we will play that song, and we will be better next year. But hey, come out to the Big A and get your tickets for the Monster Truck Weekend, because that's going to be a sure thing to happen come February. I mean, as we speak and as we're constructed, people, I think Artie Moreno can make a lot more money instead of just having, your November. I think it's December, January, or is it January, February where he has the monster trucks come in? I think they should talk to Monster Jam itself and say, you know what, listen, it's all well and good when you guys come, and whether it's January, February, or February, March, whatever. Whenever you guys come, that's great. We sell it out. We do the monster trucks here in Anaheim. We do the funny cars sometimes, or we do the motorcycles, dirt bikes, four-wheelers, whatever. That's great. But how would you guys like to come the second week of October? And then the Monster Jam's going to be like, listen, we got to plan that stuff out 3 to 5 years in advance. I appreciate that, Artie, but what if you guys make the playoffs? And then Artie's going to be like, it's unfinished business. We have all the time in the world. Nothing. I mean, the golf in October is nice, but imagine monster trucks and golf. Yeah, imagine golf and monster trucks in October. I mean, I say go for it. If this team has no desire to win, and I'm the Angels organ. I mean, I'm not saying it as a fan. I want the monster trucks here early, but I'm just saying, hey, you know what? As long as the Dodgers are eliminated, if you bring the monster trucks that early, I'll go. I'm stupid. I'll go down there and I'll watch a monster truck or two. I still like the Gravedigger. So why not? Good old fashioned fun. It's more excitement than an Angels game, and at least at a monster truck rally, you don't hear Dale. I mean, come on. So again, what is there to pull from tonight, other than a rant that's going further into left field than the home run that was hit tonight? Seriously. I mean, hey, it's the time for the Honda play of the night tonight. And I'll tell you what, Taylor Ward was ripping the ball out of the grass tonight. He might as well have been a Doobie Brother rolling up some grass in a Doobie because he stole one right there. It's like, Gooby, that doesn't even make any sense. It's like, okay, that's a Hyundai top-tier play of the game when you're losing 7-0. And then if you hear Wayne's like not even paying attention. He's just like, well, Barry Enright's out there going to the mound. Doesn't say shit, and all of a sudden you see Kia. He can't even muster up, we're going to take a ride with Kia. It just automatically goes to Kia. I mean, they've even checked out. Well, at least he has. Wayne, you could tell Wayne was like, when I took this job in LA, that, this job is going to be great. It's going to build my resume. I'm like almost a nobody everywhere else I've been, but I'm coming to a big market in LA, and this team's going to do something. I'm going to come up with home run calls, and I'm going to be goobying up with Gooby, and Gooby's going to be telling me about a Royals situation that happened in the middle of the game. It's going to be fantastic. Nope. And boy, Bally's can't wait to take a ride in a Honda or a Kia. They can't wait to tell you about a Smash Jack. I mean, these guys used to be professionals. If you can't, listen, I don't profess to be a professional. When we do those lives, yes, we goof off, and we don't have like the sponsors to hold us in check. And I agree they have to go on a script or whatever, and sometimes they have to stick tight to the game. But you're able to ad lib as announcer. You're able to fill in the blanks, give your knowledge, and I thought Gooby over the past few years had done great at that. Not so much this year. I mean, anytime they have a chance to talk the X's and O's on the field and in between the lines, they'll go on a drive with Kia. They'll talk about some sort of like upcoming promotion. Hey, don't worry about the score, guys. Check out the 80s weekend coming up. Hey, don't worry about the score, guys. Core Cat. And before that, it was, hey, Kip Moore. And before that, it was, Christmas in June. It's like, stop, people. And I understand you got to sell tickets and you got to get people out to the ballpark. You wouldn't have to be doing that at all if this team was winning. I mean, literally, you wouldn't have to. I don't know how much they spend on Angels backpacks. I don't know how much each one of the, bobbleheads cost them, because obviously they've gotten a cheaper production, way to find those bobbleheads, because they don't look anything like the players in the last couple of years. They're not detailed. They don't look good at all. But I digress. My point being is, you know how much money you could save on these stupid-ass promotions if the team were winning? Again, said it once, I'll say it again. If you build it, they will come. If you build a winning team or a competitive team, people will come. They don't need the most spectacular stadium. You don't need the best parking prices, the best food prices. You don't even need the best-looking jerseys. Just build a winner, a team that the fans can, find themselves getting lost in, not worrying about their everyday outdoor problems, because that's what sports is. It's a good outlet. If you got a good team to watch, you're fully invested. And for those 3 hours, 4 hours, or whatever amount of time you go to the stadium prior or after and enjoy a Mezzo's calzone. But you do your part, right? You do your part to be that fan. You do your part to be that person, to have a good time and enjoy your team. And when the team doesn't give you that back, you feel like, damn, dude, like I feel like you used rag or use something. And it sucks because, again, we've seen the potential. We've seen this team win. We've seen what it does to the OC. We've seen what it does to Los Angeles County, the fans that are up there. Even the fans that are in San Diego. I mean, don't get it twisted. The Padres, like, you know how a lot of Angel fans root for the Padres when the Angels are in the shitter? Padre fans root for the Angels too when the Padres are in the shitter. And they had plenty of years to do that. So just like a lot of you out there are Padres second fans, you know, and you don't absolutely claim them, but you're not mad when they win, or you're not mad when they, you know, you're kind of mad when they lose. You're kind of invested in them. That's how they are with us. That's how it's been for a long time, as far back as I can remember. So it's just, we want a winner. And if you're worried too much about the promotions, you're worried too much about the commercials, and I mean, fans can see it over time. More of your warts are going to be shown. Just like the reverse happens, a team gets good, it gets a good culture, you win consistently. All the warts that we're pointing out on a nightly basis, or that you see that I miss, or I see that you miss, all of those go away. And all of a sudden we're talking about, man, I can't wait to see the dong in the box again. You know, he's been ripping them. You got Taylor Ward in there. And, you know, all of a sudden, what happened to Dumbo Ears? What happened to making fun of Moniak? Well, Moniak's kicking butt right now, and the Angels have won 8 of 9. You can't tell me that's not true. If it was reversed and the Angels are winning 9 of 10 or 8 of 9 or 7 of 9, you best believe, just like that 6-game win streak, we were all honking our honks and getting excited and talking about individual play and who's on deck and what, you know, what's the next matchup and this and that. It gets you pumped for the next game. How can you be pumped about the next game after an 11-0 drubbing? Now, a lot of honks will be like, well, that you just got to turn the page, go to the next game. True. But what if the next game's 5-0? Like we had, I mean, I don't think I've ever watched an Angels team lose 5-0 3 times in 4 games or 3 times in 5 games. I do remember a very bad stretch of Angels baseball in the 95 season when they were occurring all those losses, and they lost 9, won 1 game, and proceeded to lose 9 more in a row. And that was a first-place team that had a 12-game lead on Seattle. And obviously the lead was evaporating. But in those losses, though, I remember that season, in those losses, they were losing heartbreaking games, like 5-4 when they had a 4-2 lead. Stuff like that was happening. It wasn't like this. It wasn't just like, well, the offense just didn't come out and hit, or they changed up their approach and they looked as flaccid as, you know, Erica Weston's eye. You know what I'm saying? It's a tough watch. And again, analytics will do that. 38-55. Can we make 60 losses before the All-Star break? No. But can we get to 20 games under before that? It's a stretch. They'd need to really suck in the next 3 games, but quite possibly could happen. And if it does, how many of you are going to fall off from watching this team if you haven't already? It is a very, very tough watch, even for myself. It's tough to watch how this team plays on a nightly basis. I wish I had something better for everybody. I wish I could say, hey, don't worry about it. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. There's not. Not as we're constructed right now. Not as how the direction we're going. It's a tough loss. Or tough watch. I'm sorry. So if you thought Kachinakowicz was good, let's talk about the winners and losers tonight of the Stamos and everything else. Let's get into some awards before we get into the comments. But first,
there's a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight, which makes me so horny and me love you long time.
I will be strong, I will be faithful, 'cause I'm counting on a new beginning.
The John Stamos Award for best player on the field. You got to give it to Kyle Rowley, the catcher for the Mariners tonight. Although hitting 215, 2 home runs, 1 legendary blast off of Rosenberg, I believe it was. But 2 home runs tonight, 4 RBIs, 3 hits in total, raising his average to 215. So 3 of your first 4 hitters are batting 215 or less. Then at the bottom of the order, you got 1 hitter at Polanco, 204. You got Bliss that came in for him. It was 224. And then you got Mitch Haniger, the DH, at 207, and Clase at 184. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let's talk about who gets the nachos tonight.
I love the nachos, gas station nachos. I love those nachos, yeah. Gas station nachos, ow.
Koch and Knock'n'Wattowitz, look, 41 out of 60 pitches were strikes, right? And you're like, hey, well, that's pretty good. Well, if you've got good stuff, but if you're just starting out, you might want to miss a little bit. And I know that this entire organization has been preaching nothing but find the strike zone, hit the strike zone, don't dick around in the strike zone. So when hitters or pitchers are average, they're going to get lit up if they're leaving it in the strike zone. You don't have that much movement. Well, that's what happened tonight. But he doesn't get the blame. Kenny Rosenberg should know better. Kenny Rosenberg should know that, hey, I'm going to get an opportunity here. I'm going to mop up. I don't want to look like Jose Suarez. I may not get another opportunity, so I have to prove myself. And how many more chances is Kenny Rosenberg going to get? Well, not too many, because we can get the same kind of performance, if not worse, from Suarez. And so he gets the nachos tonight because you should know better, Rosenberg. 6 runs, 8 hits in 6 innings, all earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, 55 pitches were strikes out of 95. So he got roughed up tonight, and there it is. 155 pitches between the two guys. This is an Angels team that was averaging about when they win games, they're about 110 to 120 per night, and they threw 35 more pitches tonight. That should tell you something right there. Now let's get into who gets the golden dong for stiffest competition in the box or hardest pitcher to hit.
It's a big Calhoun, the golden dome, for the player who stood out all day long. Stiffest competition on the field, halos in the infield, who's finna be revealed?
You know, the fact that he doesn't play anymore and he's not relevant as a hitter for us, it's diminishing that goddamn award. People are going to be like, who the hell is that at some point this season? It's the big dong. If you don't know, you don't know. Anyway, the golden dong, we're going to give that to our boy, Luis Castillo. Yeah, our boy. Should have been our boy. It lowers the ZRA to 3.53, 4 hits out of 6 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. Not a great performance, but he definitely was not hittable with our boys. So there you go. So there's the loss. There's everything. Let's jump into the comments tonight because, my God, there's a lot of them. I don't know why, too, on a bad night like this. I wouldn't expect half of you to be here, but I will tell you, thank you very much. Also, leading off is Mateo saying, James, and keeping the streak alive. Someone's got to beat him to it because Mateo's up to like 5 or 6 in a row right now. He's doing his best Angel Reese right now in consecutive double-doubles, but he's doing his consecutive spritz o'clocks.
Spritz o'clock, Angels play. Win or lose, we toast the day. Sip and cheer no matter the score. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more.
Grillmaster wants balls and balls in his mouth. Also, yeah, they suck tonight. Also, R. Martinez says the Mariners' run differential is plus 11 thanks to the Angels. Mudwater says your show is more exciting than watching what we call the Angels. Thank you, Mudwater. I appreciate that. It's the Halo Honk line. Also, Grillmaster says Terry said on the radio Seattle doesn't have good hitting right now. Ouch. Daniel says, yo, what is up, Daniel? Honest opinions here for sure, R. Martinez. Shit. I at least thought you would be competitive. Listen, Eric, I know you're a Mariners fan, and I appreciate how you've been on the show. And you know we love you, and you know I got love for you, man. But the other night, I wanted to rip you so bad when you said, if we get swept by the Mariners, bro, that should not even be, or, you know, if the swept by the Angels, I should say. If that shouldn't have been in your vocabulary, Eric, how dare you give us any kind of hope and act? And I know you weren't acting. You were literally being genuine. However, you give us way too much credit. So how dare you for giving us credit? It helps Seattle allows them to stay in first over the cheaters. What's the Big 20 saying, what's up? Randy laughing at 11-0 loss. Mariners struggling offense plays the Angels, and here we go. Time to get this another team going. Eric says, Grill, they actually did fire the hitting coach. That is true, but didn't do too much until they played the Angels. This was such a horrible game tonight. Anna's checking in with that. Also, Randy, I was thinking maybe 2 for you guys tonight. R. Martinez says, playing the Angels is always like what the doctors prescribe for struggling teams to get back on track. Artie must go. I believe that for sure. Willie says Cal Raleigh told the Mariners organization to get guys, and they delivered. Trout asked, and they say, we'll give you an extra bobblehead giveaway. And how many bobbleheads in a row is that? Is that when he's hurt? That's a bunch. You don't score till you score. I would love Randy to break that down for our players. Don't understand pitching back-to-back rookies in the same game. Yeah, that's kind of stupid. R. Martinez, which one the Artie here is awesome. Actually, Ben, I think Rosenberg is not a rookie. He's been around for a while. Also, Farty Moreno, Angels owner in real life. Washington, Tyler says, had 0 say in pitching 2 rookies in a row. I guarantee it. Oh, you mean the start? Yeah, starting pitchers. That's for sure. Balls, and the season starts tonight. Yeah, Eric. I think even we know that's not even true.
Time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
Season starts tomorrow. Also, Mariners were hitting like they had Ken Griffey's Slugfest cheat code. Halo Joe saying, Deo. Also, Canning shows the ball in his windup as well. The coaches need to change that. I can guess the pitches from the TV screen. Randy says, hey, Todd, remember last summer heading into the Toronto series? Oh, yeah, Randy. You know, preach on, brother. That literally was that was such a tough time last year because we had about a smidget. Because I remember when in that Toronto series, I think it was we wound up losing 2 of 3 or 3 of 4, something like that. Tyler Anderson wound up actually pitching a rare good game last year because he was awful. And it still gave us hope, and we still got disappointed big time. Willie says, I swear Cal Raleigh stared at the golden dong for a solid minute. Christina, she says, tonight's Deo count, 14. You see, that's more than 1 an inning. That's too many. Like, literally, there was 2 outs. It was like 0-2 to Taylor Ward, and you heard, Deo, and he grounds out. There's no need for that. There is none. And yet I wish we had a Deo count for all 81 games. That's what I want. Someone do their homework. But thank you, Christina. Tyler says, hey, Todd, do you tell the Angels pitching coaches about the newfound pitching info? Or can I? I could, but I don't think they'll listen. Damn, this was painful tonight. My boy Michael checks in saying Angels got their ass kicked 38-55 and shut out again. Hell yeah. Randy, how dare you? He says, call up Suarez. Halo Joe says 14 days and I want to go home. Stupid. Eric says, I wonder how quick gets sent back to Rocket City. Laugh out loud. Is this the best we have in the minors? This team is so fun. No, it's not, Eric. This guy had like a 5 ERA almost. 4.85. Win-loss record was whatever. This guy is just a guy. And we're like, bring him up. I swear Raleigh looks like a grown-up Caillou. Also, he prefers to be called Farty Moreno. Yes, he does. If Marcia threw a baseball, would it just be as hard as Shaq shooting a free throw? I don't know. We have to ask her if she can throw a ball. Lesson of the show, get vaxxed before grabbing a cookie. Eric says, you all would be proud of me. I was in a Mariners fan group, and one of the funny guys was asking if they saw AI. If they saw an AI from this page? Oh, maybe. Well, you got to explain more of that one right there. The Roger Lodge one. Okay, got it. The Mariners seem like players still wear COVID masks while driving, or seem like it. Brian says, what is the phone number to call in? It's 714-598-3221. Let's see. Also, Marty says, Marcia trying to bed Grildo is far more exciting than watching these guys. Shop Girl says Golden Dawn goes too. And it went to our Luis Castillo, by the way. Early February, I believe. R. Martinez says Angels won't be trading Ohtani this year. And you know why? Because he's no longer an Angel, and we will be getting the same thing that we got for Ohtani last year. Good point. Let's see. Also, I can't stand the Mariners, so don't call Eric or Leaf. Oh, jeez. Grill, unfortunately, it's not up to you because I think Grill Master is talking about Marcia. Let's see. Randy says, I got something for you to pull, says Marcia to Grill. Boy, that's not going to get old from last night. Also, this is a team we have, ATM, Artie Moreno. Trade deadline is coming up, and it's only going to get worse. I just want to see the kids played. Lowered expectations. Balls, and strike zone 3 feet off the plate. Exactly. Jesus says, when you're a bad organization, you look to prospects and all of the minor league teams. That is true, and that's what we need to do. We need to try to get guys from other teams because obviously the minor league system doesn't work here. Smash Jack is what Grill and Marcia do on the weekends. Your helpful Honda dealerships and promotions are fake and cringe, and the tirade as or tired as Farty Moreno's Angels. Shop Girl says, pick an evil of two evils. Want trash Astros or Mariners in the first place in the AL West? Look, I think the Astros have hurt the AL West and baseball in general the last few years. I can't stand them since they've come to the division. So the Mariners outside of 95, and again, not because I'm a Seahawks fan. I never rooted for the Mariners. Again, I had nothing against them until they beat us in 95, and really haven't had too much against them. Even when they had Ichiro, we still found a way to beat them most times. So I'd have to say the Mariners. I'd have to pick the lesser of the two evils, in my opinion. If we're going to be positive, the Halos are making sure Artie doesn't drink any stupid juice about going all in on a playoff rush. Leaf, don't put it past him. Don't put it past him. There's still a chance. Mariners are plus 11 in the run differential with today's win. I saw that. Sleeping on Randazzo is actually not as big of a homer than Lodge. How come the Angels don't have their own network? Because Artie didn't want to pay or the money to get that network. And the network, he should know something about making money. You have to spend money to make money, and he did to get the Angels, and he's made it over 30-fold. So much more money since he bought the Angels. And, yeah, if he got them on their own network, my God. Panhandling this morning was more fun than less embarrassing than being an Angels fan. Damn. Let's see, because being Artie is cheap. Padres have a 16-run differential. Ha, ha, ha. Also, F the Padres. So some of you guys don't like them. Getting pounding by Marcia in the bathroom stalls would leave you walking away happier than watching these guys. Oh, I don't know about that, Marty. When can my heart beat again? Oh, wait, hold on. It's the Halo Honk line.
No, you're not Marsha. She gave me this number, and it doesn't work. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I tried calling all game. I was like, Marsha, you got to save the Angels. She didn't answer. We need a 6-foot woman.
I think
Of beautiful, beautiful women.
that's disgusting. I think that they they're playing over there in Atlanta, so I think she's back on the court.
Oh, that's why it didn't work.
Yep. Sorry.
Man. Well, I know she listens to this. Marsha, if you're listening, get away from Grodo and Big 20. I only have eyes for you.
Oh,
You
come
only have eyes
on.
for me.
No, better. No, don't use the sexy voice on here either, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. She's gonna start calling in. I can't handle her 2 nights in a row, bro.
Marsha, we need you. Come on.
Stop it. Stop trying to pull a Rally Chris either. Because Rally Chris will do that too. So don't do that.
Yeah, well, I'm also predicting that we have 2 out of 3 more wins coming up.
You'd be predicting wrong then. Are you going to be at the game this weekend?
I think I'm going Saturday, but for sure I'm going Sunday.
Okay. Well, let me know because we can meet up at the game or at Mezzo.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Horrible game, by the way.
Oh, terrible. I'm going to blast through these comments right now. All right, Vetter.
Bye, Marsha. I love you.
Stupid. Get out of
I know
here.
you're out there.
Get out of here. Let's see. Timur 20 says, I turned on the game and the Angels were down 4-0. I changed it because I knew it was over already. Yep. Terry Smoot Jr. says, bring back Garrett Anderson, David Eckstein, Peter Borges, and a few others. Yes, our roster is trash. It is Savage Garden night. Let's see. Don't worry, guys. We still got the Locked On post-game show. Yeah, just switch over right now. Walsh needs to mentor some orphans that Angels that see Angels in the seats. He does. Let's see. How the hell is Rosenberg still in the organization? I don't know, man. The season starts in 2060. I'm going streaking. Another Spritz royalty. Yes. Let's see. Sing it, Eric. Let's see. Also, being an Angels fan is the low as Forrest Whitaker's eye. Shout out Erica Weston. I love Oso. I love that. Also, this is like the Seahawks versus Jets game in 2020, a rare, comfortable Seahawks win. Jeez, Anthony says, Gooby says, check out that cork night. That's true. He's like, hey guys, don't forget your corks. And there's like no rhyme or reason to it either. It's not like, hey, check out Kettle One, because that would be smart. They use a cork in their vodka or their tequila or whatever, right? They use a cork in the picture, right? So wouldn't that make sense to utilize one of your sponsors and say, hey, it's the Kettle One cork hat night, and you could put the Kettle One on the side and still have the hat looking corky, right? It would work. Because then you'd be like, okay, that makes sense. They have a cork hat. Nope. Do I have to do all the work for them? Surprised Joe Adele wasn't in the lineup. He's hitting 185. Yeah, he's no kidding. I like that one right there. Oh. It's the Halo Honk line.
Hey, what's up, Todd? It's Brian.
Hey, what's up, Brian? How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. Yeah, tonight was embarrassing as fuck, man. Those kids had no business being in the major leagues, man. Only the Angels. I mean, they were getting hit hard from the very get, and very embarrassing. They set those kids up to fail, and if they ever did have any confidence to begin with, it's fucking shot now,
Yeah, you'll get a couple guys like Klaus that'll come through that may, raise eyebrows, and you're like, oh man, that's good. They're getting the work in. But like you said, these kids weren't ready. You could tell they're not ready. And we have to go to them already in the season. Like, we're not even to the All-Star break. I could see this in September, but you're doing it now when teams are still fighting for playoff positioning. It's not a good look.
How about our second round pick from 2021, Kai Bush? We traded him for Giolito or Giolito, whatever the fuck his name is, and he's a stud, 6'6", 250, our second round pick. He's in Double A with the White Sox. He's got a 2.12 ERA, 2.12 ERA. And he's 6'6", 250, throws at 98 miles an hour. And they're not even the White Sox won't bring him up because they don't want to kill, he's not ready yet. So not that the White Sox run a good organization, but I mean, that was one of our best prospects, and we gave him away for absolutely nothing. And he's for sure going to make the White Sox roster next year, I would think. But, and touching back on your earlier point as far as Anderson and Rengifo, they're having career years. Well, Anderson had a good year with the Dodgers, but Rengifo is a career 267 hitter, and Anderson is having a great bounce back year. You trade them when they're hot. You don't go into next year. What happens if they have a piece of shit season next year like they did most of their career? And then we're not going to get anything back from him. Right now, what do you think the Mariners would give us for Rengifo, dude? They give us like 2 great prospects, if not 3. And we need those prospects. But our delusional freaking management thinks that we're just a few pieces away, from making the playoffs going into next year. Like I said, you already touched on this point, but they're delusional. We're not just a few free agent signings away, because our 2 best fucking players can't even get on the fucking field all year. And we need to start over. We need to reset. We have, like Ty Bush, and we traded bunch of prospects last year, and now we're not going to trade what assets we have to get prospects. We're in this continual loop that's been spanning fucking like 10 years now, and it's not going to change because the owner doesn't know what the fuck he wants to do. And it just sucks, bro.
No, I get you, because not only Kai Bush, we didn't think he was going to be an ace per se, but with Dylan Cease leaving, Giolito and the other guys the White Sox had, and they're probably going to trade it. I forget the other guy's his name, Cochin or whatever his name is. They're going to trade him too. But thing is, Bush can fall into that scenario in September and then come up next year and battle out for a rotation spot. He'll get it. Cuero went over there, the catcher from us as well. Imagine if we had those 2 guys right now. You could be throwing Kai Bush right now. You could have Cuero hitting, because he's tearing it up there for the White Sox as well, as he was doing here, coming through the, blitzing through our minor league system. But you could have had, and you could have said, well, wouldn't they have 3 catchers? Yes. But you forget that you could DH Ohapi, you can DH Cuero, and you could also play, dude over at first base, Theis. He played first base a lot last year. So you could have, if you wanted to, play all 3 in the same game. And you would have had Kai Bush to fill in instead of these no-namers or guys that are just getting a cup of coffee in the majors.
Right. Yeah, it's just, it's very unfortunate. It's just mismanagement from the very get. I certainly hope they're smart enough to trade Anderson and Rengifo, but they probably won't, like you said. And, it's just, they're probably going to make a run for it next year, sign a few, once they get their TV contract deal and find out how much they're going to get.
I think that played.
Going to sign a few free agents and then make a run for it and then make the same mistakes all over again. Anyways, I know you got a new policy. I'm used. My first time calling in this year, and I'm used to a 5-minute phone call with you. But I know you got the new minute policy. Thanks so much for your time, Todd.
All right, Brian. You have a good night, dude. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, I'll see you soon.
You got it, bro.
All right. Bye.
That's Brian checking in right there. And you know what? He makes a lot of good points. I mean, a lot of good points right there, because again, if they're going to go all in, it's like I said a couple of nights ago, then go all in. But like, as far as for free agency next year, and he also brought up, hold on, I got to finish his point because I already know it's Big 20. Hold on a second. He made a really good point, because I think there was a lot of reasoning on why, Artie didn't spend in this offseason. And I think, what was understated was the TV contracts. And he brings that up because we haven't talked about it in a while. And this could be, thankfully, the last, second half of the season that we have to endure Bally's. There could be an entirely new network next year. I don't know if Bally's is going to be under a new management, if they're going to just, because from what I know, they're bankrupt. They owe a bunch of other teams money. MLB's paying for it. It's a big mess. So I think they're playing out this year. And if Artie's smart, maybe he saved the money or got money or is going to do something to make a network. I think that would be smart, like what was brought up earlier. Or there's a new network that comes in that purchases the baseball contract. Maybe we're watching on Hulu next year. Maybe we're watching on Apple TV. I don't know. But whatever it's going to be, it should be something different next year. So maybe he is waiting. Maybe he's that much of a cheapskate because, again, he's estimated at a value of $4.9 billion being Artie Moreno. But that's counting what the franchise is, accumulating. He could have debt with other companies, other businesses. He could be just treading water. We don't know. So we'll see. Maybe because that's all the equity after he sells the team. That's how much he's worth. We'll have to see. Ben says Grill needs to a gothic chick to rock his world. ATM means at the moment, not Artie Moreno. I'm sorry, Randy. I'm not with these kids. I'm 60. My time is running out to see a world championship. I'm so sorry, man. I'm telling you, we got to win. We got to win now. It's the Halo Honk line.
Hey, Todd.
Of course. How you doing?
Dude, so guess what?
What?
I have a Hollywood commercial going.
How dare you?
Next week, $3,000. I'm going to Hollywood.
You're getting
Monday.
$3,000 for a commercial?
Yep, to be a bully on the basketball court.
A bull?
Ask some kid if he's gonna play me in basketball.
That's all you have to say is, "Hey kid, play me in basketball."
No, it's you gonna play me or what, Grabowski? And it's for the candy fruit by the foot or fruit roll up deal for the candy. Like after he's done eating his fruit roll up.
So it's like the Mentos commercial. He's just going to take a bite of the fruit roll up and then he's going to smile and then ball you up.
No, I'm going to ball him up.
Okay.
Yeah. And then what else? I have another surf contest coming up in 2 weeks. And guess what? I'm defending champ for this one because it's the one I won last year, the 2% Classic.
The 2% Classic? Why do they call it the 2% Classic?
Because this guy, a pro surfer, he thought of a name and he was like, oh, 2%. My phone's at 2%. Like you can use it like 2% milk. And it just like started. Now every like kid and like young adult, some like 2% like called like he like has a brand called 2%. So it's
not appealing.
A pro surfer.
These nuts.
Pretty sick.
Well,
yeah.
So that's your weekend, right?
Yeah, that's in 2 weeks, and then I have the Hollywood commercial this weekend coming up.
Well, you are doing a lot.
And then you want to hear my August?
No.
Just one. Just 1 week.
Okay, hurry up.
All right. My friends are in a surf contest in Huntington, and I'm going on a movie tour in Australia. And you know why I'm happy about that?
Why?
18 plus at bars in Australia.
Yeah, but there's a lot of men that will hit on you in certain parts of Australia. Just saying.
Yeah, but I don't think we're going to those parts. But my friends told me and they love American men.
Oh, gnarly!
Well, we'll have to wait for your awesome what is it called, updates to see if you actually got laid.
YouTube video, Instagram post.
Okay.
YouTube's an Instagram post. Be on the lookout.
Will do. All right, appreciate the call, my man.
Young, hot American man going to Australia to get some girls. Oh yeah, go Angels! And big 20 seconds. Oh yeah, woo!
Did he just say, "Oh yeah, young hot American men"?
Let me tell you something about my guy John Stamos. So I was able to go in the back bedroom and unscrew the old balls and running up my butt right now. You get out of it what you put into it. John Stamos choked on me. He was so great.
Andrew says this team has a lot to learn. Looking forward. Jesus Christ. It's the Halo Honk line.
What's up?
What's up, Eric?
Oh man.
So, are you happy with the win? I mean, you guys barely squeaked one out on us tonight.
I tell you, I was sweating it out over here.
Jeez, you could have just watched the first inning and just turned it off and been like, "Well, we won."
I tell you, I mean, I didn't really even watch much of it, but the thing I did do was I looked in the first inning, and after we scored 4 runs in the first, I just knew it. I'm like, uh-oh, because there's no way he's going to get out of that.
Yeah, you're probably thinking, boy, Todd's going to be pissed off later.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that game was a shit show from the start, bro.
Yeah, yes.
Well, you know what? You got a good organization. You know, I know that there's some warts in that team too, but yeah, you know, I'm gonna sound like Roger right now. You gotta be positive. You're in first place, and I think you got a lot of season left to be played, and a lot more wins coming your way.
Yeah, I tell you, I think it's gonna be a good West of the year. For the Angels, I don't know what to tell you, bud. Part of me wants to be positive, but part of me also knows that it's not going to happen.
Yeah, well, I think you're actually turning into you're a Mariners fan that we're turning into an Angels realist. That's what's happening. But at least you know that this team has no hope. So we know you're not a Halo honk.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the call, my man, and I'm gonna blast through the rest of these comments. But we'll talk to you tomorrow night for sure, my man.
Well, yeah, I mean, I might be helping my mom babysit for kids tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if I don't make it on tomorrow, I'll for sure make it through on. Now, is that a night game on Saturday? Or
Yeah.
what kind of game on Saturday?
There's 6:30 games, and then the Sunday one's a 107.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, I'll still make it through here on Saturday if I don't make it in here tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good, Eric. Have a good night, my man.
Have a good night, everybody.
All right, brother. That's Eric right there. J-Dog says this team can be 0-100, yet the stadium will still be packed on a giveaway night. Exactly. Leaf says the only team that Jerry DiPoto has not made a single trade with since becoming head of baseball operations in Seattle are the Angels, and there's a damn good reason why that's the case. That is true. Also, Randy says, well, seeing they're in the same division, that does make a point right there. We tend not to trade with our division opponents. They are bringing up kids from the minors. Who do you think who do you want to see them trade for prospects? It's the Halo Honk line.
She's up there. She's mighty. Oh my God.
I don't think that's how the song goes, but good try, Artie.
Wait, I'm almost done. Chicka bow wow. Chicka bow wow. Hey, Tom. Long time no talk. Oh God.
Yeah, where have you been?
Oh, I've been passed out for the last 2 weeks. I was over by the shore by Huntington Beach.
I just woke up with my face in the sand. I don't know how I got there.
Yeah. Well, first off, since you're on and you're so coherent right now, Halos Forever, before you called, I was reading his comment and he says, who do we trade for, to get prospects to make this team again? Good.
Well, if you want to make this team good, you got to trade for someone good.
Okay. So who is that?
Oh, I don't know. One of these good guys that are playing around right now. Hey, that's Potassium's job. That's what I heard that.
Hey, wait.
For.
You call him Potassium too?
Oh, yeah. I call him, and not because he has a big banana or anything.
But
I don't think that guy's seen his banana since he was like 18 years old.
Did you steal that from the Halo brothers, or is that solely your thing? Did they steal that from you?
Oh, that's my thing. Oh, those guys couldn't hold my jockey strap. Oh, you kidding me? Oh, Joe, Todd.
Yes.
Todd, I think I mixed something up when I was drinking earlier today. Oh, God.
What did you mix up?
I don't know. I think somebody put something. I don't know. Feel so. I don't feel so good.
Hold it together.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Hey, Eric says moist, so maybe that'll make you feel better.
Moist.
Dude, you just
my favorite word.
How did you
English language.
How did you just throw up so fast and then you're so happy already? How does that happen?
Yeah. That's my buddy Eric. He brings energy out of me. It's like drinking a monster with that guy. Eric, you're my man.
Eric says, "Hey Artie, are you gonna have a Christmas in August? And what cheap China made shit are you gonna give away?"
That's a good idea. I might have a Christmas every month at Angel Stadium.
Hey Artie, was that true? Was that an evil laugh, or did you just break the fourth wall again?
Well, fourth wall came down again. Hey, there's some good ones out there. Oh, the good one.
The only A Train, Eric says.
That's me. A Train's coming to town. Oh boy, A-Train. Oh man. Tell your neighbors. Tell all your friends' wives. A-Train city tickets now for a free ride.
Hey, I heard
I had just enough Jim Beam to get through it too.
You need Jim Beam to watch this team, that's for sure. When are you going to make us better again?
I need Jim Beam just to stand up.
Listen, I have a serious question. So the Angels.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I've got your full attention, right?
Well,
listen, Artie. Like, you have that one train car on the Metro link that says, the Angels Express. Have you ever, speaking of the A train, wanted to use its actual size to fill the side of the entire train? Like, instead of just one car, it could be Artie's A train?
I can tell you, I think that came up before. I think that's a great idea. The only thing is, I don't know if my lawyers agree with me having my penis on the side of a train.
You get away with everything else.
Yeah, why not, right? I mean, wouldn't you want to ride on the A train, Todd?
Nope. No, I would not.
You would. I wouldn't charge you anything. You just get free rides to the stadium.
No.
Oh, you're gonna get all racist because my penis is on there. Oh God!
Well, I ain't gonna
Now
lie.
I know you're true colors.
I ain't gonna lie. I think that would be a train even my dad wouldn't like.
I gotta go with this guy. He likes trains. I like trains too.
Yeah.
Oh boy, we have a great time together.
Yeah, my dad loves trains. He models trains, but he doesn't like trains with penises on them. So I think he'd be like, "That's a disgusting train. I don't want to see that going in a tunnel."
No, we need TG train. maybe I'll make a Calhoun train.
Oh, jeez. A big golden dong train.
Dong. Right in the caboose.
By the way, Eric said, ask the A Train how proud of his team are you this year, and when are we going to get the unfinished business?
Eric, or who was that?
That was Eric.
Eric! I have no faith in his team whatsoever. They suck the biggest donkey balls I've ever seen in my life. Oh wait, am I live? Todd? Is this live?
This is live, yes.
Oh, I mean, I'm sorry. Of course, I brought on my team. They're the greatest bunch of boys in the world. You just got to get it together. That's all. Hey, sometimes we hit slumps, you know?
Yeah.
We're 2 years away from contention. Oh, God.
2 years, huh?
Even I didn't believe that one.
See, Halos Forever says also, he says, I thought this was an Angels podcast or a wannabe comedy show by your callers. Now, granted, we talk baseball for the good majority of the show, but it's where the callers take it or the messages take it. So I can't always be responsible for that. You know what I mean? So
yeah, who let that guy in? Everybody's having a good time. He has to come in and pee on everybody. What's wrong with that guy?
I don't know. He's a good fan. I'm not shitting on him. We all have our takes. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. Hey, Todd, I want to have a party soon. I was wondering if you wanted to come down to my. It's kind of like a bachelor pad, except I'm married and it's a mansion, but it's in Arizona.
I'll go.
Everybody's going to be there, Todd. You got to go.
I'll be there.
All right, cool. When I plan the date, I'll tell you.
Okay. All right, Artie. Well, I think you're starting to fade on us a little bit. You going to be okay? Artie?
Oh, Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas, everybody! Don't forget to get your corn taps tomorrow. Oh, boy. See, try going to another baseball stadium and get a cork hat. Only in LA of Anaheim, baby.
All right. We'll go to the cork hat night. You got us.
You have a good night, Todd. And this got awkward. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, later.
I've never been this uncomfortable in my life. All right, bye.
That's Artie Moreno right there. Man. Okay, let me address something real quick. So we were doing this earlier in the season, and we did stick to it, and Brian brought it up. We were doing this. 90-second phone calls only, no exceptions. At some point, we got off of that. And so when he brought that up, that reminded me again. And I get it. And we do talk at Spurts o'clock. We do talk a lot of baseball here. So, but we do, if you understand the show and where it's gone, like watching the team on a nightly basis sometimes, and again, this is what makes our network different from all the other podcasts. We can sit here and talk X's and O's, but what are you going to talk about on an 11-0 game? Number one. Number two, how many times have we actually gone in the entire show with talking nothing but Angels baseball and not even get into any kind of comedy? And the comedy we do is just off the cuff. It's just a brilliant caller. I'll say it's one person that is just a chameleon when it comes to voices, and he provides some kind of excitement or laughter in a shit season, So that's for us to do, at our thing. Now, when you have other callers call in and we don't stick to the 90 seconds, I know that was a thing in the past, and a lot of you guys are either, Big 20 fans or you're not, Grill Master fans or you're not. There's always that down the middle type thing. It's like, or it's split, some people dig them, some people don't. That's fine. I don't want to pressure the other callers. Like Brian called in and he talked for 4 minutes, but I wasn't going to shit on him because he's bringing up really, really good comments. Like he's really talking Angels baseball. He's concerned. He's wondering how the season went the other way. And like he's thinking, how is it going to be the future of the trade deadline? He's following the show, and that's great. And you'll see the tone changes for every phone call. Like if it's Big 20, I already know he's going to be talking about chicks and whatnot. If it doesn't go a certain way, yeah, I have the power to cut it. But if you want me to go back to just enforcing it to 90 seconds, there could be some stuff that's lost. Like the other night, I'll give you a good example, right? Like, yeah, I want to enforce it. But the other night when Marcia called in and was just giving it to Hammer and giving it to a Grill Master, that was some of the funniest shit, like just that I've heard in a while. I thought it was funny. I was looking at the comments. Most of you guys did, and gals did too. So again, it's one of those things where I get it. Sometimes you're not in the mood for it. Sometimes it's not the thing. And if I am guilty of letting people on too long, my bad. But name another show outside of AM 830 that takes more than 2 phone calls. I mean, look, you guys can call in too. Anybody's more than welcome. I flash the number on here sometimes. Sometimes, we do the, it's scrolling on the bottom of the screen. So anybody can call in. Eric's called in, a bunch of other people. Demetrios called in. So, it just it depends on if you have a take for that night, if you have something to say. I engage everybody. So it's not one of those things where I'm just picking and choosing. So if the same people tend to, just call for the hell of it every night, Big 20, then yeah, I mean, I never really turned people away. And Vetter was a little creepy tonight. I'll say that for sure. But see, that's what Julie says right here. You give these callers way too much time. And it's fair criticism. It's fair criticism, So again, we read every comment or just about every comment, unless it's like a back and forth or a redundant one. So you too, like how the show goes too is depending on you too, because like how you guys comment once I give my takes, my rant, or just a breakdown of the game. I've never come on here and just took phone calls and jacked off the entire show. Like we've literally talked baseball from a good 3/4 of it at least. And then it gets to a point where it seems like it's falling off a little bit. The takes aren't coming in. Like if Brian didn't call about it, we probably would have switched to comedy faster. But that's just how the show goes. So, I understand. And like there's gonna be some nights where people are gonna be like, hey man, you had a kick-ass show. And then there's gonna be other nights where like, man, you sucked. It wasn't really that good. You killed it with this guy, or your take was bad or whatever like that. It's just how it is sometimes, it's hard to do a show like this too on what is it called? I guess on a nightly basis. Like that's why there's podcasts that only go once a week, and only because we got dared into it or by a sponsor saying they want us to do a podcast every night. That's hard to do too. And then also doing the post game and everything else like that. So it is very difficult. And I'm glad that I have the partners I do on this network, that we're all together working as a team. And I'm telling you, our chameleon that does the voices, if we did not have him part of this show, it would be, at times, I mean, again, some people can't stand Big 20, don't want him on, or Grill Master, or a few other people too that call in. and that's fine, but I'm telling you, you guys would miss your Terry Smiths, your Artie Morenos, your Marcia, some of these people that call in. Some of these people, I'm referring to one person as people, but you know what I mean? It's because after, like, literally he gives me a break when I've like ranted for a long time, or I've yelled on here and my voice is going hoarse halfway through the show or three-quarters for the show. And he helps calm me down, because it's like one of those things where, I do get fully invested, or maybe I have unfinished business and I go too hard on a show. And then it's like, I'm regretting it towards the end. And then almost like without even texting him or nothing, I get a phone call, and then there we go. We're into a thing where I'm laughing, and then by the end of the show, I'm texting him like, "Dude, that shit was crazy. It was good." So yeah, it's just, that's just how it goes. Eric says there's not much to discuss besides the suckage of this team every year. Halo Joe should get an award for the actual fan that he brings to the show. I agree. And a lot of the people too that come on here and do a really good job of the comments. The comments alone are worth reading, even if I didn't do them, because or read them, is because you guys come up with some comedy gold or some sarcastic ass remark. It's hilarious. Dynaco says, after hearing your explanation on the comedy stuff, it makes sense. Sometimes you need to laugh on otherwise shitty season. I guarantee you, Dynaco Dad, that if we weren't this bad, and I guarantee you might have like one or two skits a week, not every night. You know what I'm saying? Like if this team was winning and we're focusing on the X's and O's, the inside the lines, the pitching, the hitting, we're talking about prospects, we're getting hyped for game to game. I'm setting aside times for pitching probables for the upcoming, because we did that in the beginning of the season. We're like, okay, here's the next 3 games against the Astros. Anderson takes on this guy, and the ERAs. We're breaking it down. We're talking about the hot hitters in the lineups. We're getting more involved in the actual game because there's something to talk about. We're all intrigued. This is what we're here for, and that's what you play off of. When it starts to get to a part where it's just laughable because guys are in the lineup hitting under 200, errors, just bad calls, and you've gotten past the angry part of the season where you're mad at New York, you're mad at the management, you're mad at Artie, you could only say so much. It tends to get dull at times, or you tend to be redundant. So that's where, the comedy, that's where the calls, that's where the messages, that's where the sarcasm, that's where this entire show is built off of and can sustain itself by itself, because we're here to talk Angels baseball. We're here to goof off. We're here to, be part of something that we love as fans all together, but then also can give our input. You know what I mean? Like if I'm on the other side and you're hosting the show, I'm all up in the chat, and if I've got the balls to call, I call, and I'll try to give a take about the team, or, try to be funny myself. So it is what it is. It's not always going to hit. Not everyone's going to like everything. So it is what it is. So it's just fun to have a show like this and to be part of it, and for us to get the love as a network, and also the love on the chats and everything else that we hear on social media too. So appreciate all that. But that was a long-winded answer. I don't know why I felt the need to get into all that, but there you go. Also, Marty says, I haven't heard from my cousin Brody. Has he found any more Halo honks out there? I don't know yet. I'm waiting for another update on that. Dynaco Dad also says, thoughts on the Super Halo brothers. What exactly? Eric says they suck. I guess I'm just going to go back to, I had that thing when I was on here with Dominique, and then we thought that we ironed that out. Again, tumbleweeds. Again, nothing else. I haven't heard jack shit back from them. And kind of disappointed because, like I said, like they're a big cog in the podcast Angels, thing, and they mean a lot to the Angel fans. They've got the platform, And I think they should use it a little bit better. I'm very critical of the fact that, you know, yes, they've been a little more critical this year of the organization, but when you have a chance to make a concerted effort, and granted, it was our idea to do it, but it really would have meant something for them to be a part of what we wanted to do, and also part of other things, like getting the the other podcasts together and the other Angel fans together that don't know about us, and vice versa, to have a softball game, a charity event, do stuff for the fans, do stuff for you know the area, the local area, the Angels fandom in the city and stuff, and be be a beacon out there. You know what I mean? Like do make the Angels organization look bad, that you got podcasters out there raising money for other stuff, or just having a good time for the community, and showing off that doesn't take much to have a good time, to hang out with fellow Angel fans, to play ball, and to enjoy food together and rub elbows and talk about our Angels while we're playing softball, reliving our old dreams and stuff like that. And then also do stuff like, hey, you know what? We're tired of this shit. Let's stand up and let's make some noise. We tried this year on several occasions to have this organization, not the organization, but the fan base, be together. But you got too many honks, and you got too many realists that will always bash heads, never work together. We found that out this year, and I thought that they were a podcast that was more on our side, not as extreme as we are, but I thought that they were more on our side, and I don't know or don't think that they are close to that, and that's kind of disappointing, because there are other podcasts that, if they put more time and effort into it, could raise some hell and be pillars in the podcast Angels side, but they just don't. So it's all about getting you know everyone together. I just don't see it happening. And as bad as this, or usually what brings a fan base together is winning. That can unite whatever. That's the easiest way to do it, but I think it's harder to unite a fan base when the organization and the team is losing, because you have too many people dug way too deep in to crawl out of their cubby holes and admit that they were wrong, or admit that this team does suck and they do need a change. They're not outgoing. They could be outgoing when they're winners, front runners when they're winners, but they can't be that way when they're losers. And I think that's the difference between our podcast and the difference between our fan bases, because we could sit here and call a spade a spade. I just don't think, guys like that, or that type of fan base, the AM 830 crowd, can ever do it. They're too brainwashed. The agony of listening to Big 20 is part of the humor, Frederick says. Wow. Also, he was at the Big 20 Wrestling Honks. I know he loves Outback Steakhouse. Maybe he's hanging out there. Halo Joe is an all-star right there. Also, I may buy Marsha a ticket to Australia, to travel to Australia with Big 20, where she can introduce him to the Mile High Club. Demetro says, if it were up to me, the Angels would be good and we'd be discussing or dissecting them every show. But we just think so so much ass, man. Yes, we do. Also, Courtney says, this team makes my heart hurt. I've only been to one Angel game all season, and that was the one too many. I am still an Angels fan at heart, but this season is more than disappointing. And Courtney's a lifer too. I've known her for a couple of years now, and she is all about the Angels. She's a big time baseball fan, big time baseball player. And so I know, as a player, she can see the discrepancy. She's pointed them out on our podcast, and she knows that this team should be a lot better, and they're just not. And again, for fans like her, my heart hurts too. Because for her, there's nothing more than what she likes to go to games, because she gets the feel of the field. And once you're a player, you're always a player, and you feel the excitement. It's a little bit different when you're at the game. And, I'm sure she would love to see this team win, but it's hard. It's hard when I think we can all sit here and say we can take 3 or 4 or 5 seasons max of losing. And then, hey, something's got to turn. We got to have some kind of hope. And then we could move into a winner or a 500 team and then get above that and then try to, get in the postseason. There's stepping stones. If we had those stepping stones, Courtney and others would be happy over time because they'd be like, okay, we have a rough stretch, but we'll be all right. We'll turn it around. And I think we had that those first few years after 2014, 2014 through or 2015 through 2017, maybe 18. We kept looking for the light at the end of the tunnel. We kept thinking, okay, this organization, they've had a pretty good run here. They're due for a couple mediocre seasons, but we'll get them. We'll get them. Turn the page. The turn the page thing is long gone. So Dimitrios, Eric says, straight up, Dimitro, we'd love to talk actual baseball and have some semblance of hope. Exactly. Also, Willie says, this show is the best baseball pod I've ever come across, and we have our own whack pack. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Love you guys. Let's see. Eric says, Courtney, this season is just awful. I've watched baseball since the late 70s and a lot of losing, but this is the worst. Dynaco says, I didn't know there was any prior drama with Super Halo Brothers. Sorry about that. I generally enjoy the podcast for the most part. And they are different, that's for sure. It's the Halo Honk line.
Hey, first time, long time.
What is going on, James?
Hey, man, I got a lot to say, but I'm trying to figure it all out. Anybody who doesn't like the show, get out. Anybody that, doesn't like the 90-minute rule or like it or want to enforce it or whatever, get out. It's okay. Like many have said, we need the comedy. We need the fun. If the team supplied it, I think it'd be different. Like you mentioned with the X's and O's, I would love to do all that.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to tell you more about the starter today. Kohanowitz, the C is silent. Okay, he missed with his stuff. He left balls down the middle, and Seattle took care of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if Seattle has a bad offense. They were facing the Double-A pitcher tonight. That's what people have to realize. I was hearing scrutiny of the young kid. He's only 23, but I'm thinking to myself, he's not even supposed to be up here.
Yep.
But the Angels have the worst organization when it comes to minor league talent, the scouting and all that. We all know that. So I'm not really worried about that. It's trying to figure out who the hell do we have in AAA that could come up and start? Because I know other organizations where in AAA, those guys could be ready to go, with the flick of an injury here and there. That team in LA, they have 16 Dodger pitchers out, and they still have more stuff ready to go in double or AAA. But with the Angels, it's like we hear all about Rocket City and the pitchers they have, but do you know who is in AAA ready to go? Because I'm so confused.
I think we went over this the other night. I mean, outside of I know more guys down there that are relievers. Other than that, you got Plesac down there again. Silseth not ready. You got Suarez down there. You've got Kenyon Yovan. There's not much to pick from down there.
That's so sad. It's like I know a bunch of other teams that are like they have their guys ready to go, and if someone needs a spot start or something like that, they have it. I think I have some predictions on trades, but I know the rumor was like, 3 Angels are getting traded according to SI. I was thinking Tyler Anderson to Milwaukee. They want to keep the NL Central crown. Estevez, man, I would guess someone who needs a reliever. I would think, look at a Baltimore if Batista doesn't come back, or even I don't know. Could you think of maybe the Astros making a interdivisional trade for Estevez.
No, I would think Estevez would go to the Central, either American or National. I think he would be a Cardinal.
Yeah.
I could see him going to the Cardinals, and I could see him going to possibly the Twins.
And Rengifo, I cannot think of someone who keeps getting injured. And you know how I mentioned it the other, or God, it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm like, watch, he's gonna have another injury, and then boom, he has 2 more.
Mhm.
And there's got to be teams that are smart that are aware of his injury history. And I don't know if anybody will take a flyer on him. But Anderson, I'll be shocked to see if he doesn't get traded. If he doesn't, you know, it would be like he just literally don't care about anything, and it's just frustrating. You know, I kind of share the same sentiments as Courtney, where hey, I'm not going to as many games. That could be because of the schedule too that I have. I kind of had a thought of going to tonight's game, but thankfully I did not. That would have been really, really bad. If anybody has a beach towel, you know, I'll pay for one. The Cork hat, you know, I've heard too much about during Bally's telecast. It's like, hey, can you use that as a bat, or can you get that signed? It wouldn't look so good. You know, what's his name? Wayne Rendazzo.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
Wayne,
his
yeah.
little quirky BS stuff. And like I mentioned in the chat a while back, yesterday, excuse me. So many damn times with Gooey, it is frustrating to hear launch angle, exit velocity, RPMs, you know, spins on breaking balls. I think maybe I'm too old school, but man, I just miss like, okay, you hit that far, or that curveball had a lot of curve on it, or that ball was hit really hard. I don't need anything else. And I know it's part of the game now, and everybody wants to just sit on it, but I'm just sick of that crap. Like and then I think I read something, you mentioned Bally's earlier, where you know, of course they're in bankruptcy, but I think each team is supposed to get like 70 million from what they've lost. I know down here the Padres have, the Rangers have, and I can't remember. I think it was whoever is going to lose the team, they get a settlement for it if they lose their Bally's coverage or whatever it is. So be on the lookout for that. If you know, if they need to recoup any money, I think Bally's has to give that up, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But man, it's frustrating. But I'm happy to have this every night with you and everybody in chat and Hello Joe. It's good relief after you know, every shitty night. It's just ridiculous, man.
It is, man. And the overwhelming hope is that this team will eventually turn around, but we've been saying eventually for a while now. So it's hard to have that belief.
Starts at the top and it never gets better until he's gone. I would just think the most embarrassing things need to happen for him to sell. I mean, you know, losing is one thing, but there's got to be more. I know there's been stuff on and off the field, but I'm trying to figure out, without like going Donald Sterling's route, but there's got to be something that can make it happen. It's just like, hey, on and off the field, you know, he's bad, and then the attendance is bad. I think I read something, and I think we know that guy Kevin, where it's like, what is it, 8th in payroll, but the 8th worst team in the league. That kind of hit me today. That was pretty crazy. I know I'm way over 90, but guess what? I don't care. Anybody else that feels like that, get out.
Well, hey, you know
Simple
what?
as that.
You know what, James? Like, you're an OG, so I never put a time limit on you.
No. And then yeah, I really like Brian's takes, man. That dude, it seems like he really knows his stuff. And if he got on the pod one day, I think that'd be something cool.
Yeah, we should have him on. He's been a lifer, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, that dude, I could tell. Like he can make some moves this organization needs to make. So that'd be cool to see. All right. Maybe we'll do a first half review if you. Why would you?
we could talk. There is some numbers that are interesting on there. I brought up a couple of the other day, so we could probably do something.
The 55 losses.
Well, just the fact that
they can't get to 60.
Yeah, well, they can't get to 60 before
57.
the break. 58's the max, so they can be.
58.
Yeah.
It's a 4-game 6.
Yeah,
I'm gonna enjoy the sweep, and I'll catch everybody later.
You got it, James. Have a good one.
Later.
That's James right there. Courtney's saying, I'm going back to Chicago in September to see the in-laws. We'll be probably at Wrigley Field for the atmosphere. Great fan base. They are. That is a great fan base. Eric says those guys are a couple goofballs and are fake. Let's see. Another. It's the Halo Honk line.
Make way for Halo Joe. Hey.
What's going on, Joe?
How you doing?
I'm all right.
Hey, what'd you think about that telecast today? Hell of a game, huh? Well, we'll get them next time.
Launch angle is what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. Todd, you're talking about hope and all this stuff. There is no hope. There's no hope. It's over, Todd. Time to move on. There's bowling leagues to join. You and I could start practicing shuffleboard.
Only if we can play some bocce, I'm all in.
At that, and I heard you're a hell of a ping pong player. Is that true?
No, I don't know why that keeps getting brought up. I wouldn't know what to do with a ping pong table.
That's strange. There's a whole website about it too. It's bizarre.
Oh man!
Damn it! There's nothing we can do. The man has to die. I'm sorry.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yes, and if you want to hire me to kill him, Boo Boo, if you want to donate some money, I'll go kill him for you guys.
Boo Boo. Yeah, she's been donating a lot. So, yeah.
Boo Boo is awesome, and thank you very much. By the way.
Absolutely.
Yes, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. James, said it well. And everybody, tuck in your shirts, grab a cup of Joe, hold on your nips because this call's gonna take about a half hour.
Jeez.
Just so you know. I'm just kidding. No, I just wanted to call in and say that I just want to be the voice of positivity here. Not like a Halo honk, but just being a realist and being positive. There is no hope, fans. I'm sorry. Nothing's ever going to happen with this team as long as Artie is in charge. There's no reason to even watch. But we want you to watch us.
There you go. There you go.
So we're going to take the place of the Angels organization, and we're going to be that entertainment for you without the rusty bolts and the small bathrooms and the cork taps.
And tell me why I had a dream was it 2 nights ago? No, don't tell me the dream because then that would be really freaky. But I had a dream that I was playing for the Angels and I was struggling. And I was batting like 147. I got a hit. And then
the numbers down here.
Yeah, they'll hire me right now by hearing those numbers. But I got a hit. And the fans were just giving me all kinds of crap.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm like, geez. And I was actually paying attention to the crowd, like looking over, and I got picked off at first. And then I woke up.
Wow.
I'm like, stupid fans.
Yeah. Stupid old fans batting 147. That's funny you had a dream about that. I had a dream that all different colors of people would join together and live in harmony one day. I don't know what you're dreaming about. Those are my dreams, bud.
Yeah,
or I'll have a dream of myself being chased by a big snake while he's rolling a huge donut, and the snake's wearing a vest, but he doesn't have arms. That makes no sense, but they're weird dreams.
That is more exciting than mine. I'll give you that for both of those. More meaningful,
they're terrifying, but exciting at the same time. I always wake up in a cold sweat. I always wake up moist.
Oh.
Not that kind of moist. You perv. Come on, perv boy.
Dude, we had enough pervy stuff from Marsha, dude. That chick's something
It
else.
never ends with that Marsha. What's wrong with her? She needs to, we need a big 20 to get laid, and we need Marsha to have a baby already. Good Lord. Or needs to knock her up.
You know that
If I wasn't married, I'll tell you what, if I wasn't married, I'd take one for the team, guys. It would be a definite two-bagger.
well, because
One of hers falls off.
you're holding your wife extra close tonight because you're married, aren't you?
Yes. I look at my wife and I say, guys, you look good, girl.
Oh man.
Yeah. I can't be doing that anymore. I'm not in my younger years anymore. Big 20. If you knew the Halo Joe in his 20s, Big 20, I'd have some stories that'll straighten your pube hair. Let me tell you.
Well, I don't know if he'll be able to listen or get through it because he tends not to listen through most of the
I don't know if he even has pube hair.
I don't want to know that. Or
I don't either, but I don't think he does. He may have 2 or 3. I'm trying to hold on to my last brown one. They're all turning gray.
See, this is where I'm with the fans. I'm like, come on, we need to talk baseball.
Anyway, yeah, these guys, I'm sorry, hate to be the negative Nancy in the room, but I just, even if Artie Moreno was to scrap the team, start to rebuild, okay, we're starting from scratch, and he starts everything over again. He is incapable of putting a team together. The man has had over 20 years. He's had his shot. You would think in that time he would have said, okay, this isn't working. Let's move on to something else. He doesn't. He keeps doing the same thing. He'll just continue doing the same thing. Even if he does rebuild from scratch, it's going to be the same model that he's been pushing out because for some strange, bizarre, insane reason, he thinks that works or that's going to work one day. It's not. You have to go with a whole complete different format, whole different model, whole different everything. It has to be redone, revamped. So the whole thing has to be redone. He's just not going to do it. It's not going to happen under his watch. And I have a lot of other weird questions about him too on where he plans. He has to have some kind of plan instead of where he wants his team to go that we don't know about because he never talks to anybody. And I just think that, we may have some things that a lot of us fans aren't going to agree with and making some decisions as far as where we're playing, what kind of stadium issues we have, the disagreements he's having with Anaheim. I get this weird feeling that he's setting the stage for hey, they're not helping me out. I'm gonna take my business elsewhere and pull that crap, And I just hope he doesn't. It doesn't seem like he would. I mean, he was all in buying the stadium before, but maybe because it was dirt cheap and it was a hell of a deal and he couldn't turn it down. But now everything seems kind of quiet and weird, and the way the team's just running on autopilot right now, it's just odd. I don't know. It's a weird kind of a gloomy, murky area we're in right now, and I have no idea what direction we're going in.
Yeah, it's all of us right now. I think if there was no team in Arizona, I'd be scared that he's trying to move it there. But other than that, I mean,
he's got his heart set on Los Angeles. I mean, he's made such a fuss about the LA name, and when Anaheim was trying to make deals before, when they're saying, "Oh, if you any chance on changing the name back?" Nope, that's not on the table. That's not an option. That's not happening. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
It's LA. So he has his heart set on LA for some reason. I have this weird feeling he's thinking or looking to move them up somewhere over there. I don't know. I don't see how that would make sense, but
nope.
Yeah. You never know with that guy. He doesn't say anything. Doesn't talk to anybody. We have no pulse on him. So
yeah, there's really no again, with no interviews, no fan interaction, you really can't tell what he's going to do. So like you said, it's a year-to-year thing with him. It really is.
Yeah. So. Who knows what's going to happen next offseason? It's going to be interesting. Very, very interesting.
Sure is.
Oh boy. Well, it's gotten to the point where the only exciting part of the year is spring training. And then once that ends, okay, let's see what's going on in football.
That's an early exit.
That's when everything ends.
Yeah.
Baseball season is 1 month, the month of March. That's it.
It used to go into June, but not so much.
Yeah. Well, It would be cool if they moved back to Palm Springs too. That'd be very exciting.
That would be cool.
Be hot as hell, dude. Anyway, you have yourself a great night, Todd. Good night, everybody.
You too, Halo
And
Joe.
God bless America.
All right, man.
Bye-bye.
Later. All right, it's Halo Joe right there. Real quick, Silent E says fans like us are going to brag super hard when we're back on top. He can't wait. Demetrio says, I used to go to games, 18 to 20 games a year, but I'm not going. I go to 1 or 2 until Farty leaves. Also, seems like Dinoco Dad says Detmers will be back up here at any point, do you think? You didn't even mention him when talking about the AAA pitchers. That's because, he's been so bad down there, and they're obviously trying to tweak him and get him in the right direction, and he's just not responding yet. So I don't count him, but I know he's there. Courtney says, I wish there was a clear direction for this team was going. If we were going to be sellers at the deadline, let's do it so we can lay on our backs and take it. Quit playing with our emotions. Couldn't have said it better. Analytics are supposed to be a tool to help players and coaches. What could be wrong with and give a direction to make adjustments, much like a sword. If you live by the analytics, you will die by the analytics. Exactly. See, Brian did have a lot to say and was good and was nodding his head to it. Demetrio says no interest in the Angels for winning the rest of the season. He's waiting for his Ramley show to start. Let's see. Also getting through these right now. I did not dream about Squiddy Poo. Let's see a few of these more down here. Who has pubic hair in 2024? See, Todd, you were dreaming you were number 6. Oh yeah, that would be something. I got the beard going almost. I wonder if Marcia has been sexting Big 20. Also, I know where we're going. Nowhere fast. That is the huge problem. Let's see. And also, yes, get the Palm Springs Angels back here. It'll be a 30-minute drive for him. So good call, Halo Joe there. So with that being said, let's wrap it up. We've been on almost 2 hours, which on a night where they lost 11-0, I was figuring 30 minutes. So that is all your guys' fault and gals' fault. But I appreciate everything that you guys do. And again, went on a couple long-winded rants, got a lot of phone calls. That also prolongs everything, but still good show. We'll get back to some sort of, semblance of a show, 90 seconds or less or whatever. And going back real quick, I don't have a beef with the Super Halo Brothers. It was just one of those things where it didn't work out, man. We thought they were on our side and we could do something, but it is what it is. Eric says, message of the night, we're fucked. Close one, huh? See, also I heard about them moving to Long Beach or Carson last season. Yeah, it's all. I mean, I thought they would go to Irvine with those blimp tents or whatever the hell they were. That was a big area, and that would have been a nice spot for a stadium. So with that being said, can we score tomorrow? Who knows? We'll just have to see if the Angels can get it done. But they definitely took a big Savage Garden loss tonight. So with that being said, we're going to play this one more time.
There's a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight, which makes me so horny and me love you long time.
Good night, everybody.
I